The deadly arrest, it happened this month. I mean, are you surprised to see things moving so quickly? I mean, all 5 former officers already in custody and facing second-degree murder charges.
That I find very surprising. Typically, when we see these officer-involved shootings, we see them being suspended with pay for a period of time pending investigation. So to see that they've already been fired and are already arrested, I find that this is moving very quickly.
This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store, the coldest merch in the game. I want y'all to know we got 50% off the clearance rack. What's in the clearance rack, Mr. Tatum? Fathers Matter. I don't know why we put it in the clearance rack, but we got it in the clearance rack. Fathers Matter, GGY6, Faith Not Fear. We got all of our cool designs. Look, I'm going to be honest with y'all. We trying to get some more stuff in here. We got a new screen printing company, so we want y'all to buy all this stuff. My book is available right now. Also, all of our new products. We have loved our they call it a Valentine's Day line, but man, this is really about God. Got a verse here, Romans 5:8. So get our new merch. All of it is here. We got our big crazy hats. I'm gonna wear one of these in the video so y'all can see what it looks like. We have things available for pre-order and all of our best sellers, even this shirt included right here. So make sure you go on discount code God First, get 20% off the entire store. God First, 20% off the entire store. Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Charges are second-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated assault, official misconduct, and official oppression. Now, I looked at the statute of second-degree murder. Now, I'm going to just explain the two. First-degree murder is premeditated murder. So they don't fall in the realm of premeditated murder. It appears that it was, according to the prosecutors and the evidence that you see, the charges that is most associated with is intentional murder. And I'm going to read it to you. And pretty much what Shelby County District Attorney had made mention to when it comes to second-degree murder is that it could be considered an unplanned or intentional killing, reacting to the heat of the moment with anger, or death caused by a reckless disregard of human life. Now, in the statute, I don't see nothing that says reckless disregard of human life. This second-degree murder charge is going to be a small obstacle, but it could be an obstacle. Because if you look at the statute, it's a Title 39, Chapter 13, Part 2. So it's 3913-210, which is the subsection for second-degree murder. The first section A1 says second-degree murder is a knowing killing of another or a killing of another that result from an unlawful distribution of a Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 drug, which it does not apply. Now, subsection B is most applicable to this particular situation. And let me read it to you because it not only explains it, but it explains what a jury may be reasonably considering. It says, in a prosecution for a violation of this section, if the defendant knowingly engaged in multiple incidents of domestic violence, which it doesn't apply, but assault or the infliction of bodily injury against a single victim, the trier of fact may infer that the defendant was aware that the cumulative effect of the conduct was reasonably certain to result in the death of the victim, regardless of whether any single incident would have resulted in a death. So here's the part that could be dicey here, because every other subsection of second-degree murder does not apply. The only part that applies is what I just read you. But here's the part that can get dicey. It says the cumulative effect of the conduct was reasonably certain to result in the death of a victim. They are going to have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the officer's conduct that they were bestowing on this individual, that they knew that it could cause certain death of a subject. And I think that may be difficult because punching a person in the face is not necessarily a frequent occurrence of a person's death. It's kind of rare that you hit a person in the head and they subsequently have a brain bleed. That happens, but it's rare. So striking a person with a with a baton, it's not reasonable that you believe that could cause certain death. When you look at police training, that's not deadly force in the training force continuum. Punching somebody in the face is not a deadly force. And so it's not reasonable that you believe punching somebody in the face at least 5 or 6 times, it doesn't matter, that punching somebody in the face would result in certain death of a person. And in fact, it didn't result in immediate death. The person died subsequently several days after this incident occurred. And the belief is that he died from his injuries with this incident. There could be things that occurred in the hospital that could have caused his death. But we won't know that until they finish the investigation and they do an evaluation, because medical malpractice kill people all the time. He could have died from something that they did there, not treating something in the right amount of time or giving them something that they shouldn't have given them. That could be a possibility. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying that those things could come out in the court of law that could change the trajectory of these charges. And so that one is troubling. Aggravated kidnapping is another one that's crazy to me, because there's no statutory relevance, because one of the statutory charges is saying it's called especially aggravated kidnapping is false imprisonment. So especially aggravated kidnapping. And when you go down and read some of the subsections, they make no sense. I can't find how they're going to actually articulate this. I see what they're trying to say, but I just think a jury that's going to be so confusing to jurors if they try to get them for aggravated kidnapping. According to a pundit on one of these left-wing news sites, he said that unlawful confinement of a person which significantly restricts someone's liberty. You know, it's very hard to articulate that. And let me just continue to read. It says a certain point in subsequent of a sequence of events, it is our view that if it was a legal detention to begin with, it became illegal at some point and was an unlawful detention. How does a legal detention become illegal? You know, this is where the public gets upset and they like, oh, the officers got off. It's like the way they charge these things, they're trying to throw the book at these officers, and it may not come back the way people think it will. Aggravated kidnapping probably was not a good charge. And you're not going to be able to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that a detention was legal, and then just because they was whooping them, that it became illegal. It became an illegal detention. I don't see how they can figure that. Like, you either are legally able to detain somebody or you're not. And if you're legally able to detain somebody, you should be able to use force against them till they finally are detained. And this guy never complied. Now, the punches in the face are excessive force. It's not a part of an illegal detention, because you use excessive force on somebody while legally attempting to detain them. The kidnapping could have been applicable if they never had a right to detain him in the first place. That would be kidnapping. But they're politicizing this, and so they want to throw the book at you, and they want to charge these people with all kinds of stuff. Now, aggravated assault is the next 2 charges are the easiest charges I've ever seen. My 2-year-old could adequately charge them with aggravated assault. And aggravated assault, it says intentionally or knowingly commit an assault as defined here, resulting in a serious bodily injury to a person, resulting in a death of another person, which those are all things that had happened here. And it says reckless commit of assault, resulting in serious bodily injury and a death. I mean, it's very simple. It doesn't pertain to strangulation. It's a Class C felony. They definitely can get charged with aggravated assault. Anytime you have a person apprehended and you're not pursuing an arrest, and you're just punching somebody in the face or kicking them without any due regard of anything, you can get charged with aggravated assault. Official misconduct is another one that's easy. A public servant commits any of the offenses with intent to obtain the benefit or to harm another, intentionally or knowingly committed by a person who's a public official, which is applicable. I'll be back after the break.